Good morning, everyone. It is Throat Punch Thursday, May 20th, and here we are taking a look at our futures. Right now, you can see that we are continuing to push up and away from this 50. Yesterday, we came in and dropped, and then now we're pushing right back up. I drew this level in this 441.13 level, which is where an awful lot of volume was sitting. I think I'm going to actually adjust that up just a little bit here because I think it's another level that we need to watch. Just a little higher. There we go. So well, I can barely even see that. 41, let's say 118. So right around the 412 on the actual SPY. We're going to keep an eye on for our next level resistance. You can see that also comes in right here with the now I've got too many drawings in here. I'll tell you what. I guess I should just order some new glasses. I'm just so cheap. Anyway, watch this 3 here, right? Because that's really where we're hitting, but we're catching at the 50. Let's take a look at some gold. Yesterday, after the FOMC, gold, so this is the candle, or here's the candle. We had a big drop in a big spike, then a big drop, smacked the 200, and ended up kind of where we started. And that's what we've done here so far. These are really the 2 previous candles and the current candle here in the gold futures, very undecided. But what we have seen is this nice move up and away from the 200. I do like gold for a smaller position. I'm going to look to take some some GLD potentially here today if we get a little bit more follow through and work our way up. More as a hedge as well. It's not the typical hedge that it had been, but nonetheless, I like the look of it here. So I am going to keep an eye on that. Copper future, so kind of watching copper here as well. Look at this. We had this really nice move up. We've struggled, but we're holding that 20. So keep an eye on that as well. You can watch something like FCX as a name for that. All right, hold on. All right, so let's take a look at a few charts here. Yesterday in the SPY, I'm going to pull this up on the 5-minute. Here's the daily, right? So we, again, just like the futures, we pushed up and away from the 50. We have a little bit of a gap sitting here. And here. So this is what we look like yesterday as we moved throughout the day, really kind of, just struggled a bit, then started to make a decent little move. But look at here, right at the end of the day, instead of selling off, we took a nice little bump up. So we'll see if we get some follow through on that here this morning as we get moving along. On the futures, you can see here, let's change this so you can see what the SPY is doing pre-market. Right, so we were sitting here pretty nicely. When I got up, we had started this dip, and now we're recovering back up. So kind of all over, a lot of indecision. So I cannot stress enough. Unless you're getting into something to hold it and willing to sit through the volatility that we've had, keep your cash. That is just such a great way to make sure that you have something to play with later instead of getting chopped out. All right, so a sector that's starting to heat up a bit, XLRE. I'm going to keep an eye on this for a move over the 20 to add to the swing trade portfolio. Also, right at that, just as we get over that or get to that 20, we will come over up all of this volume. So why real estate? Well, with the volatility and inflation, right? We've heard a lot more about inflation. If you're watching any of the business shows, they're talking about the worry about inflation coming up. And then during the FOMC minutes, I love this quote. It was from it's actually on Fox Business. I don't know who said it this morning, but I loved it because it really summed up they were asked what they thought of the FOMC minutes, and it was, they're planning to make a plan for inflation. And that is so true. They didn't tell us anything that just wasn't common sense. They're going to continue to monitor the situation. They feel we're on a road to recovery. They feel that if there's a resurgence that we could, pause or, well, no kidding. Really shocking, I know. But they didn't tell us anything, and yet the market, I don't know what they were looking for, but they gave us exactly what I thought we would get, that they're going to plan to make a plan. And that was all about the asset repurchase. And when they talked about that specifically, the market, that's when it really started to take a little bit of a turn before pushing back up. So things to, kind of constantly keep in mind is that inflation is a huge worry for people. Whether or not it should be doesn't even matter. The fact is that people are worried about it. XLRE, the real estate sector, started, there was some rotation into that yesterday, so we'll watch that as well over the next several sessions. But XLRE is the real estate sectors. Lots of names in there that you can play individually, but this is the one I will be watching as we use this kind of as a hedge to the overall inflation. All right, some names to watch. I mentioned GLD. There we go. GLD, I'm going to be watching the July 16, so 7/16, 176 calls on those. AMTX, not traded this, just happened to pop up on a scan for the, I actually had a 3.8 scan, and this one, it hit like the 2.8, so that's why it popped up here, looking like it wants to take a little bit of a move. We've come up off of this 200. Nice here price point for equity, but I also found there's quite a few options out there. The 7/16/15s are the ones to watch in that for a play up to the 20. We don't have a lot of volume resistance in here, so I think a play up to the 20 on AMTX. CVS, we've earnings well out of the way. We bumped up, we took a nice little break. We popped up again, looking for continuation. Yesterday's candle, really undecided, even though it has a nice open body, but still pretty undecided as to what it wants to do. So looking for that move. I actually like this over 88.80, well, 88.85. Yeah, 88.85 here. So that's the area I will be looking for an entry. I like the 7/16, so most of these will be July now. July 16th, 90s. Well, since we've all gone to CVX and got our vaccination, might as well plan a vacation, right? So Airbnb, but we've been talking about this quite a bit in the room, and I know some have been playing it. But look at this, we held in this really nice level, and it is caught in a channel. So we're looking for a move above that channel. I personally like it here over 141.80, maybe 140, just say 142 there. I like it up over that level. That'll bring us up over the 8. Plenty of room to the 20. There is some resistance sitting in here. But if we make it up above that, hit that 20, I would even be willing to watch as we work our way back up to the 50. It could take quite a while. Going up always seems to take longer than the falling down part. But there's not a lot of resistance sitting in here, so that's what I like about Airbnb. Watching the 7/16 150s on those. A couple of others that I didn't find options for that I really liked, but Clean Spark, watching for just a recovery play, a reversal play here. Another one caught in a channel. It's below the 200, so a little bit more risky, but anything over 1565 on Clean Spark looks good to me. Target had earnings yesterday. Let's watch for a pull, maybe a potentially a pull back in and then a continuation. Anything up over yesterday's close, which would be 219, not 219.01, so 219 area. I think that one looks great. We've been talking about Upstart here. This was on the watch list for Monday. I know that it is very extended. Would love to see this kind of relax back in. Really like it around that 128 area if we can get a pull back in for that and then kind of help reset. But we've been still building volume in this, so it may just continue right along. MXIM. Monster day yesterday. There had to be some kind of news in here. I didn't see what it was, but look at this nice close over the 20. Looking for a move up to this point of control or on continuation today over that area. So over 96 on MXIM. IM, and one that had been, steel had been performing fairly well. It finally pushed back down here to the 50, looking for a reversal on this, but really like it up over that 20, over the 25 area in X. Also to go along with X, the potential infrastructure bills, we kind of get, that being talked about. So look for names that would be included in that. Of course, we're going to have bridges and roadways. I know that the GOP is putting out a transportation bill, trying to get funding for transportation. That would certainly help this, but don't forget that there's also infrastructure. There will be technology. We started to rotate a bit back into technology yesterday. We saw some names make some really good moves. Really like the look in Facebook here, but we've seen a lot of good moves. Yes, or saw a lot of nice reversals yesterday in the tech sector, so keep an eye on that to see if we continue that along today. The NASDAQ so far pretty quiet, green, but still pretty quiet. Like this is the NASDAQ futures, like this up over the 50. That 50's been really difficult the last several sessions here. All right, that is it for me this morning. I will be here this morning, and then my sister is in town, and she's taken a couple of days off. So I will spend some time with her this afternoon, unless Lexi comes home sick. She's still not feeling that great, but okay, that is it for me today. I hope you have an awesome Throat Punch Thursday, and I hope you're delivering the throat punches and not receiving them. All right, I hope to see you in the chat room. If you have any questions, reach out, heatherc@givingtreetrading.com, and I will see you soon.